What's up guys, Mathematics Battles, and today I've got another non-Beyblade video. I've been enjoying these quite a bit, so expect more of them when I have something to talk about, which I do today. So, I went over Brilliant Diamond and my thoughts on it. This time I'm going to be going over my team that I used for Brilliant Diamond, because I really like my team overall. So, we'll go from least favorite to favorite. Dishonorable mention, Weavile got totally shafted. It gets a terrible moveset. Ice Punch and Icicle Crash, which are both higher than base 60 power, are breed moves only, so you're stuck with having to heart scale Ice Shard or teach it Avalanche TM you get from Candace. And that's very disappointing. And Avalanche is a better move on slow Pokemon because it doubles damage if you go last, and Weavile's never going last. Anyway, number 13, talk about Dialga. I did use Dialga when I got Dialga, and I used it a bit. It was nice. I've got plus Calm plus special defense minus attack, which hurts a little bit. Its attack's still good, it's just special attack's better. The biggest thing about Dialga is just very there. It's weird because it's got a good special attack stat. Like its a special attack stat is higher than a lot of my other Pokemon's like attack stats. But it feels like Dialga just never does a ton of damage when I use it. I mean, it was cool and everything. It's nice having Dialga. It just got Aura Sphere, which is really neat. Which is also a special move, so it's a bit harder. And I need another fighting move because I don't have I really needed the fighting move on my team. Let's just say that. And yeah, Dialga was really cool. It's just in the back because I got it really late and I haven't really gotten to use it much. So number 12, I have 13 Pokemon on my team. If they're gonna give me the XP share and not let me turn it off, and give me unlimited access to my boxes, and make it easy to grind when the level curve does this at the very end, yeah, I'm going to use 13 Pokemon, so I don't get too overleveled. I was on par with the bosses the entire time until the end of the game, where the bosses went way higher than me, and grinding didn't take too long when I was behind at the very end of the game. Haunch Crow is next. I was really excited to use Haunch Crow because I almost used one in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it was the same thing, except you didn't have easy access to your box, so I was switching in and out, or I was just kind of switching in things and taking things out. I ended up going with Zoroark and Noivern instead of Haunch Crow. So I was really excited to use Haunch Crow, and Haunch Crow it was a little disappointing. Its offenses were good, but they weren't great, and it also dealt with the fact that there was overlapping types with Haunch Crow. I felt like I was better off using my other flying type or my other dark types as opposed to Haunch Crow. Wait, I had multiple dark types, right? Or I had more than... Okay, no, I had one other flying type and one other dark type. And I just felt like they were better than Haunch Crow. I finished with Night Slash, but I got Night Slash late. I had Foul Play over a bit. And Wing Attack's a nice flying move, but... yeah, Haunch Crow wasn't bad or anything, but it was a bit disappointing, and it was not my favorite Pokemon on my team. Then we got Rhydon. I was really excited for Rhydon because it's Rhyperior, but you don't get the Rhyperior item until... Well, no. Rhyhorn's not even in the regular dex. I caught it underground, and you don't get the item to evolve it, naturally, given that it's not in the main dex, until the post-game. So I was with Rhydon the entire time, and I still have Rhydon. He's not Rhyperior yet. Great moveset. Ice Fang, Earthquake, Hammer, Stone Edge, nice coverage and everything. My biggest problem is that I really wish I had the Violet or something because Rhydon is slow. Low special attack, or low special defense. Good attack and defense though. A Violet would be really nice though, since it can evolve. Its biggest problem was really just the fact that I had another ground type that I liked more, and I had another rock type, but it didn't get rock moves, which is a big part of why Rhydon was really sticking around a lot. Because I didn't look at movesets or anything at a time, so I assumed my other rock type would get rock moves. But it's not exactly my playstyle. It kind of is. I feel like if this was like a generation back, Rhydon would be even better. Because I think as you get more moves and stuff, it can be, more Pokemon become more difficult to use. I prefer faster Pokemon though, and I think in this case, it would have been nice if it was either, since it's not fast, if it was a bit tankier. But it was Rhydon with no Violet. It was still a good Pokemon and had great moves. Just again, this one wasn't my playstyle. Then we got Spartacus, the Rampardos. I got an Adamant one. It's got a monstrous attack stat. The biggest problem for Rampardos is its moveset was terrible. I did get Swords Dance, or maybe I taught it Swords Dance. No, I think it got Swords Dance by level up. It's Swords Dance is one of the teams you can buy very cheaply. It got Zen Headbutt, and then I taught it Bulldoze, and then I taught it Rock Slide eventually after realizing that I wasn't going to get any rock moves after I looked it up at the very end of the game. Yeah, so big problem here. Everything is not a problem so far, right? Dialga got really late, and it's Steel Dragon. Dragon's good against Dragon, right? Steel's good against Fairy, but, I mean, Steel's like Rock, okay? Okay, I could use Water, I could use Grass, I could use Fighting. A lot of things at Rock, right? Haunch Crow was a bit disappointing, and it was a double on types. I had other Pokemon of other types to use. Rhydon wasn't my playstyle. And Rampardos doesn't get a rock move. It's a rock type that doesn't get a rock move. It gets Ancient Power with its pitiful special attack stat, and then it gets Head Smash at like level 60 or 70. I'm at 57, so I haven't learned it yet. That was the biggest thing. It hit really hard, and if I could get a super effective Bulldoze off or something, then it was great. But that was the biggest problem, is with a really high attack stat, it still kind of needed the super effectiveness, because it wasn't really getting a stab anything ever. So yeah, Bulldoze, a non-stab Bulldoze, it might have really good attack, but a non-stab, non-super effective Bulldoze is only going to do so much. It was a good Pokemon though. If you actually do get a Rock TM and you teach it to it earlier, I bet Rampardos would be much better. Good Pokemon, I liked it. Not still on the lower end, because that's what 13, 12, 11. Still, yeah, that's number 10. Number 9. Okay, it's like 10, it's probably like 11 o'clock when I'm recording this. I didn't check the time, but I started recording something else at like 10, 15-ish, and it's been at least like 25 minutes, so it's at least in like 30, 40 or something. Anyway, next Pokemon we've got Matt the Alakazam. Shout out to Helio Z, who used named his Alakazam after me, and it was really good in those games, so I decided why not use an Alakazam. The main problem for Alakazam for me was basically it's a kind of a one-dimensional moveset by level up. I'm not comfortable with using TMs, because I'll prioritize TMs for like Pokemon that I like, right? And this is part of my main team. I'm not sure anything else needs Shadow Ball ahead of it, but oh gosh, I can't stop yawning. It's so weird, because when I make videos like this, I'll all of a sudden start to yawn, and I cannot help it. Like, I'll just have big yawns come up, and nothing I can do about it. Anyway, Psyshock at Psyshock and Clock Mind. Nice having the variety to hit physical or special defense, but it's still 2 psychic moves and then Dazzling Gleam. It hits really hard, not quite as hard as Rampardos. It is modest though, which is perfect. Looking at other Pokemon stats, I think the biggest thing about Alakazam is it was one of the hardest hitting Pokemon on my team, but you would think it would hit a little bit harder, I guess, than... Like, I'm not sure how Rhydon's moveset is, but Rhydon's only got 25 lower, and it's not an attack boost in nature either. So you'd think Rhydon, when it becomes Rhyperior, might hit harder. But yeah, it's still like second highest of an attack, or third highest behind Rampardos and something else on my team. But it was Kadabra for a while, and that was the thing. It was Kadabra for a while, and another thing I ran into is I felt like there was not a lot of use for Psychic. I feel like when I fought Poison types, I'd switch into the Poison type and take a bit longer to kill, as opposed to going into the Psychic type, because I didn't want to get poisoned by poison stings and poison gases and toxics and sludges and smogs and every poison type move that poisons you. And the other thing, what else is fighting? Fighting is the thing that's good against. But I have the next Pokemon is very good against fighting, and I also had another Pokemon until I got it to evolve that was very good against fighting, and another Pokemon. I had like 3 Pokemon that at one point before, one of them always did, and then 2 of them before they evolved, quad resisted fighting. So it's not because it was bad, it's just there was better options than switching into something with Alakazam. Because it's not, it's frail. So Alakazam was very good, but it was one thing that I kind of needed to lead off with it. Otherwise, or maybe if I get a kill, right? But it's something I couldn't switch in. I wouldn't use it to switch in. So a lot of times I just had better options than Alakazam, because half of the uses would go to something else because I don't want to switch into Alakazam mid-fight, It's one thing I killed the Pokemon and then I can switch into Alakazam, but mid-fight, I don't want to get poisoned or hit really hard. I don't want to get sucker punched by Crobat. So, very good Pokemon though. It was very fast, very offensive. I liked it a lot. Other things ended up taking some of its jobs, so to speak, so it wasn't as used. Next, we've got Crobat. Crobat quad resist fighting and is super effective against it. Crobat definitely dropped off for me later on. Because like right now, looking at its defenses aren't near as good as other things. And its attack stats aren't great, but it's really fast. The thing about Crobat though is I evolved to Golbat level 22, I think it is, maybe 21. I think it was 22, and then literally the next level, it evolved into Crobat. It took me forever to get one of my other Pokemon leveled up by friendship, but once Golbat hit Golbat, I was Golbat for a level than Crobat, and that really helped me early game. Crobat always had some uses because, besides, yeah, Poison, since the deal going to get till the end, is a good way to hit Fairy types. It's also a Flying type, and Crobat being an evolved Pokemon especially, it'd be sometimes more beneficial to go into that. And another problem with Haunch Crow is, Flying is really good against Bug, but Dark is weak to Bug. So Haunch Crow would be neutral to a bunch of things. So Crobat would end up, again, would be a better switching. So that's another problem with Haunch Crow for me is the Dark Flying typing was a bit because it's cool, but like that's one of the things Flying types is good against is Bug. And not being able to really switch into Bug as well, it kind of sucks. It kind of takes away the flyingness of it, right? Of that type, and for that matchup. Anyway, Crobat fell off at the end though because Crobat's stats are not as good as other Pokemon. So by the end, I was still using Crobat because its typing was really useful to take on a lot of Pokemon, but it definitely wasn't one of my better team members by the end of the game. Crobat is number 8. Number 7, we've got Drapion. Shout out to Forever the Hobbit. I was watching his Let's Play on an episode. I was watching not the last episode that just went out, but the one before that. He's talking about how there's 2 Poison Dark types in the game, one's cooler. I had them both on my team, and Scroopy is a much better early on moveset. It's like Assurance, Venoshock, even though it's a physical attacker, and like Bug Bite, while Stunky had, I think maybe like Poison Gas, which is kind of neat, and then Venoshock. And maybe the shorts, maybe the Payback or something, and then actually I can just check because my Stunky's still my Stunky. My Stunky has it's Bite, Smokescreen, Acid Spray, and Furious Swipes, and that was like at the same level as Scroopy, who had Bug Bite, Venoshock, Bite. So Scroopy. Way better moveset early on, so Scroopy's what's stuck. Drapion I think is cooler anyway, so totally down with it. So like the first 3 members, right? First 3.5 members, right? There was some problems. Rhydon was very much not my playstyle, and I had another Rock type and another Ground type. But I won't Rhyperior. I won't Rhyperior for those games. Haunch Crow, Dark and Flying was an iffy combination because it hurt my Bug type matchups. And I ended up using Drapion and Crobat a bit more than it, and Dialga got late. And then half because Rampardos didn't get rock moves, but Rampardos did hit really hard. Then you got Crobat, who was good early on, fell off. Alakazam was some of its jobs of Psychic type were taken because it was better for me to use a Poison type and not switch in Alakazam, in different occasions. And so there are different things where it's like, Crobat's better. Scroopy before it evolved, the next Pokemon before it evolved were all better against fighting types than, Alakazam. Drapion was the first one where there weren't really any problems. Drapion's got pretty solid bulk, at least better than some of my other Pokemon, even if it doesn't hit quite as hard like Crobat, but also Sniper. Crobat's got U-Turn, Air Cutter, Cross Poison, and Bite. Drapion, these are all like basically in-game movesets with TMs that you can buy. Cross Poison, Crunch, Toxic, and X-Scissor, so its attacks are a bit stronger, and it also is Sniper, which is really cool. Drapion was fun. Poison Dark was a nice combination. Dark's always useful to hit Ghost type super effectively and Psychic type super effectively. Poison, it's Fairy, though this is part Dark type, so not quite as good, but still useful. Toxic things. I really like Drapion. I thought it was really cool. And even though its stat spread doesn't look amazing, it's pretty fast with decent, it's not great offense, but it's got a good move set along with Because like 130 attack is lower than basically everything but Crobats when it comes to like the primary attack side of Pokemon. But it's got decent bulk to go along with it, so that's better than Crobat's bulk. It's 141, 118 right now at level 59. And Crobat's got lower defenses, so does Alakazam, Rampardos as a whole. Rhydon's got one that's better, but one that's worse. Haunch Crows are worse. Dialga's legendary, so it's far better. So yeah, but I was very happy with Drapion. It's a cool Pokemon. Nicknamed is Scorpio. Oh yeah, I should go with my nicknames. Dialga's not nicknamed. Haunch Crow was Raven because it's a female, otherwise I named it Crow from Ruby. Rhydon was the Dew. Rampardos was Spartacus. Alakazam was Matt. Crobat was Carmilla. And then we got Scorpio the Drapion. Yeah, I'm very happy with the Drapion. I definitely use Drapion again. Really liked it. I mean, to be fair, I probably wouldn't use Rhydon again as Rhydon without a Violite, easy access to a Violite, because especially if I'm getting Rhyperior post game. If I'm getting Rhyperior main game, sure. Haunch Crow, I like Haunch Crow is cool. I might use it again because it's cool. If I had, you know, if it worked with my team, right? Or if I was in the mood to use it again, because it is a cool Pokemon. I'd use Rampardos again, probably, still. I'd use Alakazam again. I'd use Crobat. The only reason I wouldn't use Alakazam is I don't like Psychic types as much. I'd use Crobat again. It's on my amazing Black and White 2 team. I'd definitely use Drapion again. Next, we got Long Q, who was a Scyther, but evolved into a Scizor, with a metal coat that I caught off of the Magnemite I got underground, which I was originally going to use as my electric type, and didn't because it took me so long, and I found another electric type, which we will get to later. But Scizor, I do like Scyther more than Scizor, I'd say. Especially because I like faster Pokemon, and Scizor loses a lot of its speed. But I've never used Scizor before, so I really wanted to use Scizor. I needed a Steel type too, so it's got Sword Stance, X Scissor, Wing Attack, the Iron Head. I could go with Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch still doesn't hit as hard though as Iron Head does. Stab Iron Head hits harder than Technician Bullet Punch. So I'm running Iron Head. I might switch it though because a priority move would be nice because it's slower, but it hits hard with it. Scizor's been really good for me. Steel typing is very, very nice to have, and bug typing has been useful, especially like underground. Who is it that I face underground? There's a specific Pokemon, I think it's like Crawdon, you know, I can hit really hard with a bug type move. But yeah, I got relaxed from an egg because I bred Scyther because I wanted a much lower level than the one I caught, because I actually caught it kind of late. And I got relaxed, which was fine because it's not super fast. Like, minor special attack would have been better, but it's not super fast. So I was very fine with relaxed nature. Overall, I say I like Scyther. I like the Steel typing that Scizor gets, but I like Scyther more as a Pokemon, especially if I need a Flying type still, because it has a ground immunity, and Flying type is nice to have, and it's a big, easy way to get kill Fighting types too. Though you're weak to Rock if they have Rock moves, but yeah, I really like Scyther and I really like Scizor. Recommend both of them, and they were great. Next, number 5, top 5. We've got my starter, Infernape. Infernape did have a problem. It has Power Punch, Mach Punch, and then nothing until close combat, which is 5 PP and laser defenses. There's no in between. I did not like that, because I still have Power Punch in close combat, and a lot of times I either fail to kill, like B-Barrel underground because Power Punch is weak, but I don't want to close combat because I only got 5 PP on it, and if I don't kill something with close combat, that's like not a B-Barrel fight obviously, but something stronger, then, you know, I lower my defenses. Besides that though, Infernape is great. It's got U-Turn and Flamethrower as its other 2 moves. Very good special attack, very good speed, but also good physical attack. It's right down my alley. I like fast Pokemon like this. They don't have to be mixed attackers, but I like mixed attackers. I'm also good with fast with high HP, like Darmanitan or Crocodile, which are just overall a bit bulkier with decent speed, or with pretty good speed. But yeah, I really like Infernape. The biggest thing is just I hate being in between on fighting moves, because I don't want to get rid of Power Punch because I can set up with it to make Power Punch stronger as it goes, or close combat stronger. At the same time, I'm using U-Turn, which would switch me out, so there's a good argument to be made for just having Brick Break and having a stronger fighting move. I've only got, I think, 1 Brick Break for it now, but maybe I've got 2 teams for it. I wish you could buy Brick Break teams. I just wish it got a better move. Drain Punch, Brick Break, anything, just something. But I still really loved Infernape. Definitely would use it again. it's one of 2 fire types in the game, because this uses the Diamond and Pearl Dex and not the Platinum Dex. You can catch the Platinum Pokemon underground like Houndoom, but above ground, it's only still Ponyta and Infernape. So, still very good, and Fire and Fighting is both nice. I am leveling up my Cargo right now. I'm definitely going to look into leveling up some type of Fighting type. Not sure which one, because I would like a secondary Fire type to be able to just use in generally. But definitely liked it a lot. I'll be interested to use Torterra next time, because I used Empoleon. Empoleon's weird, because I like Empoleon. I've always liked Torterra Infernape more, but Empoleon's got an amazing type in Water Steel, and I've used it in my last Platinum run, which is why I didn't use it here. Maybe I'll level one up. It's a good lineup of starters, because Infernape's right down my alleyway. I've always loved Torterra though, and Empoleon's got a really great typing, and just a good overall stat line. All these are good, but I like Infernape, I'd use it again. Next, number 4, we got Roserade. So 3 poison types on the team. This is my only grass type though. Grass type is weird because it's got a lot of weaknesses, but it's very useful because it's, a secondary way to hit rock and ground types super effectively. Also, its water types affect super effectively, specifically Quagsire and Whiscash. I forget if Whiscash is above ground or not. I think it is, because catch Barboach as far as Gyarados is annoying though because it's flying type, but Roserade was clutching the Elite Four because Quagsire existing. It's got my second highest. So Alakazam, or Rampardos is 227, Alakazam is 195, though Alakazam is a few levels lower than Roserade, so probably passed at the same level. Roserade's got 206. It's modest. Poison Point is useful. It's got Giga Drain, Growth, Toxic, and Dazzling Gleam. I don't have Sludge Bomb because I'm not sure. I've only got like one of those, and because I've got Crobat and Drapion, even though it's quite as hard, I thought it'd be good to have Dazzling Gleam for coverage. It lets me hit, fighting types super effectively, which I resist. So there's some usefulness there. But yeah, I really enjoyed. Oh yeah, Infernape was named Sun after Sun Wukong and Rudy. There's also a Sun Wukong in history, I believe, because Miyamoto Musashi mentions Sun Wukong in Fate Go. Long Q is my Scizor because it was a Scyther and he uses swords. Roserade is Gatorade, so Jay Blader's got green tea. Forever the Hobbit has, what is it? Green tea. I think it's Mountain Badoo. And then I thought Roserade, Gatorade. There's Roserade tea, and Sun and Moon. But I was thinking Gatorade because it's got the same moon. I love Roserade. I'm using one in X and Y too. Roserade's great. The only problem is in this game. In the other game, you get like Mega Drain as Badoo. In this game, you only get like Worry Seed, Stun Spore, Absorb, and one other move that's like totally useless. So if you don't get your friendship level up really quickly, what you end up happening is having no Magical Leaf and no Mega Drain. So I didn't actually get a Grass move until Giga Drain at level 30. Because I wasn't about to Heart Seal a Magical Leaf when I was going to get Giga Drain to replace it. So that's the only problem with Badoo. But Badoo is great besides that. Besides, because it didn't evolve until like 20, because that's when Badoo always seems to evolve. Jay Blader's evolved then. Forever the Hobbits, my friend and ex who's also using Badoo, neither of ours evolved to like 20 something. So yeah, you basically miss out on all the decent grass moves for the middle game, and you're stuck with Absorb until Giga Drain basically, and that's a bit painful. Anyway, moving on, number 3, we've got Relish, the Gastrodon. I've never used a Gastrodon before, I just caught a Shellos, and I was like, well, I'll keep it in my party. And then I started using it, and then I really liked Shellos, especially after it evolved. Water Ground, nice defenses, decent special attack, but it's got a great moveset. Water Pulse, which could be a better move. It might get a better move. Does it get a better move? I might teach it a better move. Water Pulse, Earth Power, Ancient Power, and Ice Beam. Mine actually Sticky Hold, not Water Absorb. But I got a Relaxed Nature, so plus defense, minus speed. Relish was very clutch. It's a Pokemon that could always go in. It wouldn't take a ton of damage from a lot of things. I'd hit things really hard with a combination of water or ground or ice beam. I'm definitely could give it Scald. I'm thinking about that because being able to burn things would be really nice. Overall, I've never used a Gastrodon. I've always been iffy on Gastrodon because it's one of those stats don't look great and it's not exactly my playstyle. But I much prefer Pokemon that are generally tanky. Like Gastrodon, at least felt generally tanky, not really weak with one of its defenses and gets totally burned by, resisted special attacks because its special defense is so low or something, like some Pokemon do. That's kind of like my slow team in Black and White, like Gigalith, Emboar. Emboar had high HP, Gigalith had high defense but not special defense. So like Gigalith would come in and take a hit that was like, maybe it was resisted or maybe it was just neutral, but it was a special move and then it would do a good amount of damage and then it attacks second, so it take a lot of damage and then you hope it kills, and if it doesn't then you're either dying or you're getting down to red and then it kills, and yeah. Gastrodon never felt like that. Gastrodon would tank hits really well, and if it's taking hits both ways really well, totally fine with being being slower. It's one of my highest levels. If you notice, these top 7 are the ones that are my higher levels. Crobat and down are a bit lower by a few levels. Anyway, really love Gastrodon. Number 2, my second favorite Pokemon on my team, Pachirisu. Nicknamed Sandy because it was a female and I didn't know what else to name a squirrel. Pachirisu I got for pickup because Forever the Hobbit had an Ambipom for pickup, and it found him a Dusk Stone, and I needed a Dusk Stone, and I needed a Shiny Stone? Shiny Stone, right? Or is it a Dawn Stone? Shiny Stone, because Dawn Stone is for the gendered evolutions. So I needed a Shiny Stone. And Pachirisu found like 2 of each. It hits the least hardest of anything on my team, but it can Super Fang things, it can Nuzzle things. It's particularly good against water types, specifically Gyarados, which was a real pain, because nothing else did super effectively except things that were also weak, like, rock types. So it was super clutch to have. It would, it also let me catch a lot of things by paralyzing and then Super Fanging down to low health. I was very impressed, and it's got decent bulk. So it's level 61. Note that there's a bunch of different levels. My highest Pokemon, which I guess I won't talk about yet, it's 68. 66 for Gastrodon, 63 for Roserade, 65 for Infernape, 60 for Scizor, 59 for Drapion, and then everything else is 56 or 57. Pachirisu's 126 and 117 defense and special defense were a little bit lower than Gastrodon. Higher defense but lower special defense than Roserade. Better defenses than Infernape. Slightly below special defense for Scizor, but lower defense. Lower defense and special defense than Drapion, just barely. Or not by a ton. Defense a bit by bit, special defense by 1. More defensive than Crobat. Not looking at HP, its HP is a bit lower than some of these things. Slightly lower special defense than Alakazam, but much better defense. Better defenses than Rampardos, way worse defense than Rhydon, but way better special defense. Better defenses than Haunch Crow. And then again, Dialga's legendary, it's got really good stats. But yeah, it was surprisingly tanky overall, and it was fast. So pickup though, especially was clutch, getting a bunch of items picked up off the ground. I loved my Pachirisu. I would say it was the MVP of the main game. I need to wipe my nose real quick. The only thing I would say is it may have gotten passed at the very end by my favorite team member, Clefable. I love my Clefable. I remember back when I had my Discord server, there are people who hated Clefable. Are they watching this or this far? I don't know, but I'm totally gonna throw some shade at them. But one person was like, fairy types suck, they're lame. And then another one was like, oh, Clefable's awful. No, those Pokemon are dead wrong. They're dead fucking wrong. They're the objectively wrong. Maybe not objectively, but they're wrong. Clefable is amazing. I absolutely love my Clefable. It's got Meteor Mash, Flamethrower, Moonblast, Cosmic Power. I went with Flamethrower over Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, even though my only electric type is Pachirisu, and my only ice moves were Ice Fang on Rhydon and Ice Beam on Gastrodon, because, this isn't competitive, right? Not competitive. Fairy resists Bug, so it would let me hit Bug type super effectively. Flying, I'm indifferent towards. Dragon, I hit with Fairy moves already. Water types, again, neutral. What else is Ice and Electric type good against? Ground types, neutral. Is there anything else I'm missing? Flying, water. I feel like Electric gets one of them. But anyway, no matter what, the point is, what's Clefable? Clefable is immune to Dragon, hits Dark, or fighting Dark resists it, but it hits the drawback with Fairy. But Fairy's not super effective against Bug. Bug just resists. So Flamethrower may hit the Bug type super effectively back, which I thought would be more useful than, moves that the things they hit super effectively are neutral against me, as opposed to the thing that I resist. So now I can hit the thing that I resist harder, which makes me a better counter to those things. Very natural, you know, I think pretty solid logic there. Because again, it's not competitive, so it's not like I need to have like the super diversity between certain things, right? But yeah, Cosmic Power let me get really, really tanky, which was nice. Q Charm came in clutch a bit. Relaxed Nature. I was thinking about getting Magic Guard, but I just had a better Q. I got a good Q Charm one right away, so I was like, I'll just use Q Charm. Its nickname is Luna. And then, yeah, it's got really high HP. I think it's my highest HP out of anything. Gastrodon's HP is a bit higher. But besides that, although it is a much higher level than a few things, that's 68, so it's 10 levels higher than some of these. But very good HP. Pretty solid special attack stats, about in line with Drapion, a bit higher than Crobat. And very tanky. Fairy type, I love fairy types. I fall in love with fairy types overall. They're one of my favorite typings. I love Primarina, I love Ribombee. Primarina was my first starter, because I generally use water starters if I don't know. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I use Squirtle first, Toadal first, those are water. I used Torchic first, that was fire. Turtwig first, that was grass. Oshawott first, that's another water, so 3-1-1. Then I used Chespin, which is another grass. Then Popplio, another water. And then I did use Intelligence. So I tend to go water. I really love Primarina though. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the things I leveled up once the like hidden ability and stuff came out. And the Sword and Shield of those Pokemon. I made sure I got one and leveled it up, and I love it. I love Ribombee. That's one that I used after I beat Sun and Moon. It was like the honorary 7th member, and I started using it more, and I really liked it. Alchemy, I love. I really love a lot of fairy types. Azumarill, Clefairy, Clefable. I love my Clefable. Out of all these Pokemon, Clefable really stood out. I really love Gastrodon, Roserade, and Infernape as well. And Pachirisu was a very pleasant surprise. That's part of the reason it's higher up. It's like, I was expecting Infernape and Roserade to be good. I wasn't expecting Gastrodon for me to like Gastrodon as much as I did, and I was not expecting Pachirisu to be as good as it was for me. But I absolutely love my Clefable. Clefable is amazing. Highly recommend Clefable. I now want to use it in more games. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video of me going over my team. I'm currently leveling up a Magcargo. Well, I'm starting to do more post-game stuff. I took a break from leveling, but I've got Magcargo level 52. A Frostless level 51 because I don't have an Ice or a Ghost type right now. Lantern level 51 because I just thought Lantern would be cool. It's also another Water and Electric type. Magcargo's another Fire because I only want to buy all of those. And then Cacturn, which is another Dark type, but it's also Grass, so another backup Grass type. And Cactur's got a cool moveset. So, those are leveled up now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you've... I'm not sure what other talking videos I'm going to do. I've got nothing exactly on my mind right now at the moment. But these are fun. I'd like to do more Pokemon and more non-Beyblade stuff. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.